The rain began like any other. Clouds gathered low over the rugged Iranian landscape, rolling slowly across the sky as villagers went about their daily routines. But when the first drops touched the ground, something felt wrong. The water was not clear. It was not transparent. It was red. As the rain continued, thin streams formed along the mountain slopes, flowing downward like open veins. Within hours, the rocky terrain appeared soaked in crimson, as if the mountain itself were bleeding. Videos spread rapidly across social media, showing rivers of red water cutting through stone, igniting shock, fear, and fascination across the world. Headlines followed quickly, calling it a river of blood, a sign, an omen, a mystery. This was the moment the world began asking the same question: what really happened when red rain turned an Iranian mountain into a river of blood? At first glance, the scene looked apocalyptic. The contrast between the pale rocks and the deep red flow was unsettling, almost unreal. Many viewers assumed the footage had been edited or exaggerated. Others believed it was evidence of a disaster, an industrial spill, or something far more sinister. In regions where history, faith, and symbolism run deep, red rain is not just a strange weather event. It carries emotional and spiritual weight. For some, it recalls ancient stories and warnings. For others, it signals environmental collapse or hidden contamination. The visual power of red rain is undeniable, and that is why the images spread so fast. But behind the dramatic appearance lies a scientific story that is both fascinating and deeply connected to the land itself. Iran is a country shaped by geology. Its mountains, deserts, and mineral-rich soil tell a story millions of years in the making. Certain regions of Iran, especially those near salt domes and mineral-heavy formations, contain large amounts of iron oxide and other red pigments embedded in the earth. When heavy rain falls on these areas, it can wash minerals from the surface and mix them into flowing water. Under the right conditions, this creates the appearance of blood, red rain, and rivers. The phenomenon is rare but not unknown. What made this event so shocking was not just its color, but its scale and timing in an era of constant digital surveillance. As the rain intensified, the red water gathered speed, carving channels down the mountainside. Locals watched as familiar paths transformed into crimson streams. Some recorded the moment with their phones, narrating in disbelief as the water passed by their homes and fields. The videos were raw and unfiltered, which only added to their impact. Within hours, clips appeared on platforms around the world, often stripped of context and accompanied by dramatic captions. Words like blood rain, end times, and Iran bleeding dominated comment sections. The algorithm rewarded shock, and the mystery deepened. Historically, red rain has been documented in many parts of the world. From India to Europe, similar events have been recorded for centuries. In some cases, the cause was dust storms carrying iron, rich particles across continents. In others, it was algae spores, mineral deposits, or even microscopic organisms. But when such an event occurs in a politically tense and environmentally stressed region, interpretations quickly shift. Iran, already under intense global scrutiny, became the center of speculation once again. Was this a natural event or a warning sign of something far worse? Scientists studying the footage pointed to a likely explanation rooted in local geology. Certain Iranian mountains contain high concentrations of hematite, a form of iron oxide that gives rocks a deep red hue. When rainfall is heavy, water dissolves and carries these particles downhill, creating red streams that resemble blood. In some coastal and island regions, similar effects occur when rain mixes with red soil known locally for its pigment. The result is visually dramatic but scientifically explainable. Yet science often struggles to compete with symbolism, especially when images evoke fear and awe. For local communities, the experience was deeply unsettling. Even those familiar with the land had rarely seen the mountains transform so completely. Children asked questions their parents struggled to answer. Elders recalled stories passed down through generations, tales of red rivers and unusual rains that marked times of hardship or change. While experts emphasized there was no immediate danger, uncertainty lingered. Was the water safe? Had something changed beneath the surface? Could this happen again? Environmental concerns also surfaced quickly. Iran has faced severe challenges in recent years, including droughts, water shortages, and land degradation. Many viewers linked the red rain to these broader crises, seeing it as evidence that the natural balance was breaking down. While the color itself may not indicate pollution, the intensity of the runoff suggested heavy erosion. When soil is stripped from mountains so easily, it points to long-term environmental stress. In that sense, the red rain became a symbol not just of a rare phenomenon, but of deeper vulnerabilities. The international reaction followed a familiar pattern. News outlets raced to report the story, often using the most dramatic language possible. Social media amplified the most shocking clips, sometimes mislabeling locations or exaggerating details. Conspiracy theories emerged almost instantly. Some claimed it was chemical waste. Others suggested secret experiments or divine punishment. In a world where trust in information is fragile, extraordinary visuals often overpower careful explanation. Yet beyond the noise, there was something undeniably powerful about the images. They forced people to stop scrolling. They sparked conversations about nature, science, and belief. They reminded viewers that the Earth is not static or predictable, and that even familiar landscapes can surprise us. The mountain did not actually bleed, but the illusion was strong enough to provoke a global reaction. As days passed, the rain stopped and the red streams faded. The mountain slowly returned to its usual colors, though traces of red remained in cracks and channels like scars. Life continued, but the memory of that day lingered. For those who witnessed it firsthand, the sight would not be easily forgotten. For those who saw it online, it became another viral moment, competing with countless others for attention. But unlike many viral clips, this one carried weight. It sat at the intersection of science and emotion, fact and interpretation. It showed how quickly a natural event can be transformed into a global spectacle, and how easily meaning can be layered onto images without context. It also highlighted the importance of understanding the land we live on. Mountains, soil, rain, and minerals are not separate elements. They interact constantly, shaping outcomes that can look miraculous or terrifying depending on perspective. The phrase "river of blood" is powerful because it speaks to something ancient in human psychology. Blood represents life, danger, sacrifice, and loss. Seeing it where water should be triggers a primal response. Our brains are wired to react before we analyze. That is why red rain stories have always captured attention, long before cameras and the internet existed. What has changed is the speed and scale at which these stories travel. In Iran's case, the red rain event became more than a weather anomaly. It became a mirror reflecting global anxieties about the environment, stability, and truth. It reminded us how quickly fear can spread, but also how curiosity can drive learning. For every comment predicting doom, there was another asking questions, seeking explanations, and turning to science. Ultimately, the mountain did not turn into a river of blood in any literal sense. It revealed something more subtle but equally important: the power of nature to surprise us, and the power of images to shape narratives. The red rain was real, the color striking, the moment unforgettable, but its meaning depends on how we choose to understand it. If there is a lesson in this event, it is that not everything that looks catastrophic is a sign of the end. Sometimes it is a reminder of how complex and interconnected our world is. Iron in the soil, rain from the sky, gravity pulling water downhill, and human eyes interpreting the result through culture, fear, and wonder. All of it came together on that day, turning an Iranian mountain into something the world would not stop talking about. And long after the videos fade from feeds and headlines move on, the memory of red rain will remain as one of those rare moments when nature captured global attention without saying a word, leaving humanity to argue, explain, and imagine in its wake.